What's up, everybody? I hope everybody has had an awesome week. It is the 3rd. Tonight is Thursday, and we're getting ready to head into the weekend. Tomorrow is Friday. We have no updates to really give you about what is happening with Guzman and the SBA and the Senate and Congress because they took the week off this week. Now, Guzman's going around for some photo ops here and there. We see her taking pictures with some restaurants and businesses. You know, she's doing the PR stuff that SBAs are not supposed to be doing. They're supposed to be in there getting our money, and they're not. I am going to go over the top 10 because it was fun last week. Got to admit, the top 10 epic fails that were pointed out to by our Congress and Senate during the Guzman, let's call it the Guzman interrogation part 1. Let's see if I remember this one. We're going to start off with number 10. We're going to say Texas, the senator or the congressman from Texas said, "You're blowing me off." Let me come over here.
Now, I sent you letters on February 4th, February 25th, March 18th, April 9th, April 15th, and April 19th to try to give my constituents an update on the Save Our Stages and the PPP program. And like we've heard today, to date, I have not received one response, even with the chairwoman being on these letters with us. So what you're doing, you're ignoring my request. You're blowing me off. You're blowing 700,000 people off in my district in Texas that sent me to Washington to help fix problems.
And that was number 10. Congressman Williams from Texas said, "You're blowing me off." And how many of us can relate to that? How many of us feel just like the congressman from Texas? She's blowing us off. Well, he jumps here in at number 9 as well, because number 9 he was talking about Guzman and kind of talking about us. You know, we are lobbying for the SBA to give us our EIDL grants, and we're lobbying to get the loans and stuff like that. So we're the ones calling up the congressmen and the senators on your behalf and pushing for your EIDL loans and grants, and we're giving their secretaries and their office information about Guzman and how she's treating this. So check this out. This was pretty fun. This was the same congressman, what he said about that.
So what are you going to do to get these communication issues fixed? Or should we just talk to lobbyists? I mean, we're hearing more from lobbyists than we are from your office. So should we talk to you or lobbyists? How are you going to get this fixed? And with a short answer, please.
I remain committed to transparency and collaboration.
And there's that. That was kind of cool. I thought that was funny. We'll put that in at number 9. That was once again Congressman Williams saying maybe I should just talk to lobbyists since you're not contacting. That's the congressman there saying you're not contacting me. How sad is that? We're all in that same boat where he is basically saying you're contacting me. And now we're going to put him in at number 7 as well because he was kind of once again telling us where we're at. They're applying Guzman, but nobody's getting any money. We need to fix that. So this part was kind of fun too.
Monthly reports, an increase in outreach to our oversight committee.
But you have failed to call me back. Well, the Save Our Stages program has delivered absolutely zero, nothing. So it's hard to classify the SBA's rollout of this program under your watch as anything but a total disaster and a total failure.
In the process by statute.
I hear you. I've got another question, but it's going to be hard to tell those people that, okay?
So we encourage everyone to apply. We don't anticipate that this many will.
They do apply, but they can't get the money.
Correct.
I love the look on his face there. They do apply, but they can't get the money. And then a big smile with the big white eyes and white teeth showing out there. That was cool. We're putting that in at number 7. That was they apply but can't get the money. Number 7, we're going to go with Rand Paul when he was asking her about the PP money that has been going to Planned Parenthood.
So today, no Planned Parenthood has been forgiven. No Planned Parenthood loan has been forgiven.
That's correct.
So you know the information, you're just not willing to reveal it. So you know all about their information. The record should state you're unwilling to give the information to Congress.
I will certainly support Senator Paul's requests for reasonable information for oversight. I think that's important for the ranking member and any member of this committee to get his information for oversight.
Look at that. Rand Paul called her out and said, hey, you're getting money for PPP for Planned Parenthood, aren't you? And she was saying, I don't know the whole time. The whole time she's saying, I don't know. Rand Paul came out with the question and said, so none of their loans have been forgiven, right? And she said, no, none of it. So he's like, you do know then. You're not telling me. You're not telling. She's like, uh-oh, busted. You got busted on that one. PPP money going to Planned Parenthood. That's not a small business. That is a very large organization. We should not be seeing that one. Okay, so number 6, we are going to go with Lukemeyer. When Lukemeyer was calling out Guzman on illegal immigrants getting the loans ahead of American citizens, as well as the lawsuits that are being put on her for racism. Check this out. Number 6.
SBA's administration's Restaurant Vitalization Fund program. SBS celebrated the priority period, which unfairly picks winners and losers. This administration even highlighted that the program is reaching potentially undocumented individuals and those with an unknown immigration status over hardworking citizens of the United States. And they're even being sued for this discriminatory practice today. Overall, it seems each day brings another complication for the SBA. I know Republican members have many of the same concerns that I do. However, the SBA's track record for answering our questions has been underwhelming and at times non-existent.
I think we all feel that way. Your track record is underwhelming, totally underwhelming. There he's saying, Guzman, you're hooking up the illegal immigrants before you're hooking up the American citizens. Not cool. And there's lawsuits against you guys for discrimination against for the Restaurant Revitalization Fund. So Elizabeth Guzman, we're putting that at number 6. We are going to go with number 5. This was we're going to put number 5. We're going to put the fear of COVID. When she tried using the fear of COVID as an excuse why businesses are not opening up yet. Let's try that one.
For a lot of the employees of these businesses is that they, not only potentially fear of COVID in the workplace, but as well that problem with having no care for children at home. And so I do believe that the Biden administration's focus on fighting COVID is going to go a long way towards helping our small businesses access workforce. And then,
can I just reclaim my time for a second? I'm not hearing that from small businesses. We have a fairly decent vaccination rate here, very low contraction rate, a low death rate in rural areas here.
That was once again was Guzman trying to say, people are afraid to go back to work right now, and that's why we're seeing the numbers we're seeing, because the employees are afraid to go back to work because of COVID, and businesses are afraid to open because of COVID, so we're not dishing the money out that fast. And she's like, you need to get the money out faster. We're not understanding what you're talking about, this fear of COVID. Now, number 4, we are going to put Guzman in the Hagedon. Congress Hagedon. Remember Congress Hagedon? Tell it like it is, Miss Guzman. You're being racist. Number 4.
13,000 of those are for the underserved or priority groups, which includes, of course, veterans, women, and socially and economically.
Who isn't on the priority list? That was my question.
Well, the priority list includes women, veterans, and socially and economically disadvantaged individuals.
Who is not on the priority list?
Those individuals that don't fall into those categories if they're not socially or economically disadvantaged. And they're all outlined.
I'll reclaim my time. It would be helpful if we just be honest about it. So anyway, the portal closes. The only people at that point who are going to be funded are people on the priority list. 100,000 or more bar and restaurant owners across the country that aren't part of the priority at this point won't be funded. They happen to be, let's just be honest with it, white men that own bars and restaurants. Those are the folks. How is that not discriminatory or even outright racist?
And so those will also, businesses that fall into those categories will have the opportunity to be funded.
But those are the only people that weren't part of the priority. So it makes sense to me that would be discrimination in any sense. So there's no assurance of that. Look, I think it's bad enough that when the federal government picks winners and losers, that's socialist policies. And to do so based on race and even putting illegal aliens ahead of U.S. taxpayers, to me, doesn't make any sense. We should all be treated equally. We should all have the same opportunity. And right now, it seems like there's a big segment of our population who happen to be bar and restaurant owners who are not being treated equally. And I hope that we would reject that type of racial politics. I yield back.
The gentleman yields back, and now we recognize.
How did you like that one? Yeah, that definitely deserves the spot in the top 5. So we're going to add that. That is number 4, Hageman to Guzman. Let's just call it racism. And it is racism. I disagree with any sort of racism. You cannot be racist against whether you're gay or straight, whether you're black or white, whether you're Asian or you're from this country. Now, I'm kind of agreeing with Guzman on the part where illegal immigrants can be able to get this money. I don't think they should be put ahead of legal aliens or American citizens. But, if it comes down to illegal immigrants that have businesses and pay taxes later on, I maybe even take some money from them or help them pay for them to help them get their license here in America. One of the two, but they're taxpayer. There are some illegal aliens that are taxpayers. We got to understand that. Number 2, we are going to go with Velasquez, the big shamble, which was Velasquez, Van Doon, and who else? Guzman and Lukemeyer, when they were just all arguing at each other, yelling at each other. And then this is when Velasquez almost had a fit. It was so funny. Number 3.
So yes, there will be small businesses that are included in that.
If the gentle lady please allow the witness to answer the questions.
If she answers the questions, I would really appreciate it.
There will be a time for us to hold a hearing on any tax policies, but this is not the space.
It's unfortunate the
And
administrator is unprepared today to answer basic questions about the administration's program. She is not representing the Small Business Administration at the table when the administration is talking about tax policy, which is extremely alarming, because if she's not there, who is? Those are direct questions we need to have answered, because all of this factors into how we address the COVID problem in this country.
I just wish that you were so forceful when we were conducting oversight hearings with the previous administration as it related to the fact that ineligible businesses were able to get assistance, relief assistance that didn't qualify for. And so with that, Mr. King.
We were.
That was a wreck. That was just a train wreck with Guzman and Tenney and I mean Van Doon and Guzman and then Velasquez was just like, I don't know what came out of her, man. That was weird. But that was we'll put that at number 3. This should give you all hope in these are the people who have control over your EIDL grants. Now this one's going to hurt. This one's going to be close to the heart. This was when Guzman announced that the new EIDL advances, targeted advance, is going to be sending out probably in June, maybe July, to new recipients, meaning that those who haven't gotten their EIDL targeted grants probably will not.
It's $1.5 billion processed so far on the program, but we are now starting to ramp up more extensive outreach, as in June we'll open that up more broadly to those who applied after December 27th or those who did not apply at all.
Yeah, that was hurt. That said, they're going to open up the a new application for those in June to those who did not apply for the targeted EIDL advance, and it's going to be the new application that's going to go out to the businesses that didn't apply for it and that are in low-income communities, pretty much saying, nah, they're done. You're going to have to get the S513 on the floor. That's really the only way that we're going to be able to do this now, is to get S513 on the floor. Now, for my favorite, number 1 of last week's committee hearings and number 1 call out to Guzman was my own homegrown representative from Florida, Representative Donalds. when he said, and we all remember when we were there, Isabel, I know why you can't keep it 100. This is great. Check it out. Excuse me.
It's unfortunate that Secretary Yellen does not know that the best ability is availability, and so she needs to be here to answer these questions. I'll tell you, Administrator, I mean, I get it, why you can't, frankly, keep it 100 with the American people about President Biden's tax policies and other economic policies, because you'd be in trouble with your boss. So I understand why you can't, be 100 about those things, but
you can't keep it 100 because you'd be in trouble with your boss. You can't keep it 100 because you would be in trouble with your boss. That's what we're experiencing, guys. That's what we're experiencing with Guzman. She cannot keep it 100 because she would be in trouble with her boss. And I spelled because wrong in there, if you didn't notice.
yeah.
Like and subscribe, guys. Thanks for watching. Have a good day.
It's unfortunate that Secretary Yellen does not know that the best ability is availability, and so she needs to be here to answer these questions. I'll tell you, Administrator, I mean, I get it, why you can't, frankly, keep it 100 with the American people about President Biden's tax policies and other economic policies, because you'd be in trouble with your boss. So I understand why you can't, be 100 about those things, but
I spelled because wrong, didn't I? Thanks for watching, guys. Like and sub. See you later. Bye-bye.